I wanted to ask you something. When you guys are all very talented, and I imagine in many ways, because you've had to play, so many roles, when you decided becoming an entrepreneur, how did you decide on this one thing if you can do so much? I'm good at this, I'm good at that. How did you narrow it down and decide this is what I'm going to focus on and this is what I'm going to put all my energy on? What helped you get to that decision?
I think I can answer that question easily.
Good.
We didn't even decide. It was told to us. It was bestowed to us. It was like, this is what I'm doing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think that's all three of us, right?
Well,
you didn't like look through a book and be like, I want to do.
Well, I think there's this, because people go on Larry King or on MSNBC or on the Today Show, they talk about business, and you go to the bookstore and you see, people, selling books or about business, or we read in newspapers about, the success of entrepreneurs. Contrary to what you think, it's not different than learning how to walk. Right? It's like, I've got 3 beautiful young children. If I were every time to pick up my daughter, the threat of her falling or bumping her face into the corner of the wall, if I were to stop her, she would have never learned how to walk. So there's just, there's a point where you could just talk about it, or you could be about it.
Yes, sir.
Right? So you just gotta get in there, make a messy kitchen, know that you're gonna burn your hand, that you're gonna get blood on your finger, and you're gonna burn some food, and it's gonna taste horrible, and you're gonna get your feelings hurt, and just do it. I mean, it's not that deep. All right? It's just not that deep.
Very amazing.
Yeah, it's like if you, and I think Joel nailed it, manage your expectations. If you're gonna go run, you're gonna go run and do a 440 tomorrow? No, hell no, you're out of shape. You'll tear your hamstring, your Achilles heel. You'll fall down, but you will condition yourself to get there. So have realistic expectations and get in the kitchen and start cooking.
Yes.
My name is Sophia, and I am a scholar at Bedford Academy. And my question is, what does it take to be a CEO?
A tolerance for pain.
Patience might be, right?
Don't discourage them. Pain is a good thing, man.
It's going to be the hardest thing
Pain
to ever
is,
do.
look, pain is a sobering device. It's like, what's on the other side of love? Who's in love? Who's ever been in love? Think they've been in love. Oh, yeah, think you've been in love. You're too young. You don't. But you ever been mad at the person you love? Really mad? That's pain. Equal and opposite forces.
The other thing is that when you're a CEO, it's, that saying, it's lonely at the top. I mean, if you're in a company, you could just go to the next cubicle and be like, what would you do? What would you do? It was his fault. No, when you're a CEO, it's your fault. It doesn't matter if the guy messed up completely, it's still your fault. It's your fault. So it's lonely at the top. So you got to be ready for that pain, I think. You have a question?
Yes. Hi, my name is Virginia Kelly, and I attend Brooklyn Democracy Academy High School. My question is, you all being successors, I want to know if you ever had a chance to, just sit and think, have you ever done something that you just be like, I wish I could just go back and change it? And if you did, what is that? What is that? If you had to go back and do it all over again, would you?
Wow. Yeah. I think it's really important, and I'm saying this now as a much older person, really important how you treat every single person that you meet. Because today's intern or assistant could actually be someone sitting across the table from you tomorrow. And not because of that you should just treat them well, because they're a fellow human being. I think that's really critical. I don't want to, Mark used the term, I don't know what you said, but I think, for me, the work that I do now is very spiritually based. Let me just say that. Not religious, but spiritual in the sense that you see it as a bigger calling now. It's not just about, I'm making money and I got property. I mean, I got all that stuff. I'm glad to have that stuff. I don't want to be poor. But at the same time, why am I on this planet? Well, how can my life, the work that I'm doing, the business that I have, not only make money for me and employ people, but can actually impact some sort of change? That's what I think about. And I didn't think about that years ago. It was strictly about my own individual goals, you know what I mean? And so I say to you all, think about that now, you know, and that's why I keep saying, well, what do you want to do 10 years from now, 25 years from now? I think it's really critical how we relate to each other. I mean, I think both brothers can attest to this. And when I say brothers and sisters, I really mean that. I've grown to that point of saying everyone is my brother and sister. Some of the most ugly behavior I've ever seen has been in this industry that we're in. You know, it's been terrible how some of us have related to each other. You know, from all the fights that we've seen, some of them I've been in myself, you know, to, and I'm just being honest about it, to people stabbing each other. But I've seen best friends go at each other and lose their businesses because of how they related to each other. And so I really think we've got to think about our spirits and how we relate to each other as human beings as we do this thing called entrepreneurialism. Because at the end of the day, for me now, especially the decade we've just been through, everything from 9/11 to Katrina to, you know, I mean, it's you know, you can either be a bridge builder in this world or you can be a bridge destroyer. And, you know, I think, you know, look at your business as a bridge builder. You know, Bill Gates and his wife Melinda are doing some really interesting things. I agree with Marcus' assessment of the education piece. It does need to be changed. I totally agree with that. But what I love is the fact that they're saying, how can we build some bridges here with all the wealth we've made? This is great, but what can we do now to help change this world? And that's what it should be about, you know. And I love people. Love everyone. I really mean that.
Okay, thank you.
Unfortunately, we only have time for one last question. So this is the last question.